What's going on, and welcome back. As you see at the beginning of this video, we have a small issue with the Daily Fox. We're having some bouncy speedometer problems. So today we're going to try to fix that with changing the speedometer cable. Now I've seen online to where that fixes most bouncing needles, but it may not. So we'll see. I hope it does. It could be something wrong with the speedometer itself, which I hope that's not the case. But we're going to try to fix it with the speedometer cable. I kind of go over the details of it. I won't do a full install video, but I'll go over the main points of it. So let's get busy on this. Let's get it fixed, hopefully, and get rid of that bouncy needle. I can't stand it. All right, so as you can see, we have got the cluster surround taken off. I had to take the trim panel that's down there. I had to take that off, the trim around the steering wheel, all this stuff, had to take that off. And you know, the panel surround, there's 2 screws up top, 2 screws on the bottom, but mine had a third one right there. There's a little metal bar. You see that little metal bar right there. I had to take that off. You do have to take the hazard switch out and the headlight switch. You got to take those out as well and finagle it out of there. So now we got to remove the cluster itself. It's got some Torx bit screws. Looks like 4 of them. It's 1, 2, okay, 3 and 4. All right, so let's get that taken off and see what we're looking like. All right, so got the cluster out. That was kind of a pain. Man, the harness is just not very long, so it's kind of a pain to get it out far enough. And I had to remove my turn signal from the column to get it out of the way, because it was wanting to hit right here, trying to pull it forward. So had to pull that out of the way, but there it is. There's the speedometer cable. That's what we're changing out. Hopefully that's the culprit and we get the speedometer quit bouncing. But onward we go. All right, now they do suggest lubing up the cable. This is the actual cable, and it's got kind of a oil on it. But they want you to lube it up with the speedometer gear lube. So I got that with it. We're gonna get that on there, and it goes back into the outer covering. But I've read some things online that people say to lube it up really well, so we'll see what happens. Hopefully I'll get it lubed up enough to where it'll stop jumping. All right, back at it. All right, so under the hood, you can see where the speedometer cable goes in, right there through that grommet. That's all chewed up. I do have a new grommet for it, so we're gonna replace that as well. And if you follow that down, get on it, it goes into a clamp right there. Now I'm gonna have to somehow get to that clamp. I don't think it would be easier going underneath. Maybe it would be. I'm gonna try to get to it from the top and see what I can do, because I want to spend the least amount of time on the ground as possible. But let's see if we can get that loose and get this cable pulled out. All right, so we got the old cable out and the new cable into the speed sensor. I'm not sure if I'll be able to get you under here to see, but if you can see where the speed sensor goes into the transmission, the cable just goes into the speed sensor. That's about the best view I can get you, but it's in there. It's kind of a pain in the butt. There's a weird little clip that you gotta actually spread it and push it past it, and then it clips back over it. It's kind of a pain, but it's in there. And here's the old cable. You do have to take the clip off of there, transfer it onto the new cable, and you'll be able to attach it to the inner fender there in the car. So now that we got it attached underneath, hopefully it'll be a little bit easier from here on out, and we'll be able to get it fully installed. So stick with me. All right, so we got the cluster back in. That's all good, back together. A little dusty, but that's okay. We got that back in, and just wanted to show that we did get the new grommet in. You can see that. You see the new grommet in the firewall there. That's in. Cables routed, factory clips back where they're supposed to be. She's back together. So we're about to take her down the road, and hopefully this is fixed. Hopefully I didn't mess it up, because that's a very strong possibility as well. But let's see what happens. Let's take it down the road. All right, so I hope you can see me. Got everything buttoned up, and we're driving down the road. I'm currently going, let's see, we're at 40 miles per hour, and I want to show you something. Hopefully you can see that. Like I said, I'm going 40 right now, and the speedometer is worse than what it was, and it's reading about 10 over. So I'm not quite sure what's going on there. Maybe the speedometer is just toast. Maybe it'll smooth out after it's kind of broken in a bit, so to speak. I don't know, but that sucks. It's kind of a, well, wasn't kind of a, it was a pain in the butt. And to have it do that afterwards, yeah, man, that sucks. But yeah, that's the kind of stuff you go through with these cars. They're old and ornery, finicky. Brand new speedometer cable, it's still reading over. What gets me is this car, the speedometer used to be really accurate, and I'm not sure why it's not anymore, or why it's not now, but yeah, that really sucks. So I'm gonna turn around up here, and you know, I don't know, maybe after driving it a bit it'll smooth out. I don't know, doubt it, but I mean, I lubed it up, you know, as best I could with the lube that I bought. You know, it's 4 speedometer cables, but I mean, I can hear it, it's making noise. I don't know. I don't know if you can hear that noise, or if you can hear it. Let me turn the, I don't know if you can hear that noise or not, but it's pretty bad. I mean, I got my GPS on, so it's showing 37, and the speedometer's showing 45. Yeah, it sucks. Like I said, the speedometer used to be dead on, and now it's not at all. But anyway, let's get back to the house, and we'll wrap this up. All right, so a little quick observation as I'm heading back home. Not only is the speedometer, as hopefully you can see, it's kind of fluttering, you know, a real quick flutter of the needle. Not only is it doing that, but it's still bouncing like it was. So it was at least smooth before, you know, I mean, bouncing, but it was still a smoother operation. I don't know. I can't call it. I don't know. I'm reading about 10 mile per hour over. It's still bouncing, and now it's fluttering. And I mean, I put that lube all over that cable, so I don't know. Anyway, maybe a couple heat cycles, maybe it'll do something. I don't know. Probably not. Probably just out of luck with it. And it is what it is. It's probably a combination of, you know, the cable. A lot of people complain online. I saw that the aftermarket cables, they didn't do too well. Not sure, but I don't know. I wouldn't mind putting a Dakota digital cluster in here. That would be cool, but I don't know, you know. I don't know if I want to spend that kind of money for this. Who knows? I don't know. Anyway, we're heading back to the house. Alright, so real quick, I wanted to interrupt the normal video to show you what's happening. This is the next day. I want to show you what's happening at highway speed. The speedometer still has a slight flutter at highway speed, not as bad, but it is still bouncing. But I wanted to show you what it was doing. Alright, so here you can see by the GPS, you notice the bottom left corner there. I'm going about 71, 70. Let me try to get it steady. So say around 70, 71. And the speedometer is reading about 80. Still bouncing. Like I said, the flutter is less, but it is still bouncing. So, but that's what I noticed on the highway. Just wanted to throw that in here. So now back to your regularly scheduled program. All right, back at the house. So I guess that's that. You know, not much I can do about it except maybe find another cluster. I don't know. I don't know if I want to do that. Dakota Digital would be awesome. That would be so cool in the daily, but man, got so much other stuff to do, and you know, them things are expensive. So, but I don't know if anybody has any advice out there. I heard that there's you know, like some little magnets in the speedometer that, you know, if there's dust in there and stuff, you know, it can cause issues. So, you know, I don't know, maybe pull the cluster back out and tear it down, but you know, now with the newer cable, it's not even smooth. It's, you know, it's got that flutter, so that's aggravating, you know. And I hate to use a GPS app everywhere I go just to see how fast I'm going, but oh well. If anybody's got any advice, you know, leave them in the comments below. Maybe if you have a cluster, you know, this is 89. If you have a cluster that works well, you know it works well, you know, maybe, I don't know, maybe work something out. But anyway, that's the break sometimes. Sometimes that's what you go through, is a little bit of failure before you have success. So I guess this is the failure. But anyway, hope you liked the video. If you did, hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. And we'll see you on the next one.